How do you win when there are multiple offers on the home you love? The real estate market is always shifting, and right now is no exception. Hey, it's Tamara Simon, your Utah Realtor, with your Tuesday Tips with Tamara. Today's tips for coming out on top in a bidding war. How do you win when there are multiple offers on the home that you love? The real estate market is always shifting, and now is really no exception. If you are trying to buy, especially in a competitive market, there is a chance you will run into competing offers. It's not ideal, but it's also not the end of the world. With a little strategic thinking, you can often win a bidding war. You just have to take the right approach and be somewhat lucky. So, how do you win a bidding war? In most cases, the key is to choose a strategy that fits the needs of, you guessed it, the seller. Now it's time to give you buyers a hand and explain what can be done to increase the odds of winning when you are up against multiple offers. These tips are some of the things that you can do to edge out the competition and land your dream home. Now I know that dealing with these multiple offers as a buyer is not ideal, but it's a reality in a strong seller's market such as ours here along the Wasatch Front. Okay, let's dive in to the few of these steps in a little more detail. All right, first thing is to offer the highest price. This one is obvious, but it's worth mentioning for the sake of creating a list. The easiest way to win a bidding war in real estate or in any situation is to outbid your competition. If you can pull together just a little more money than the other guy or gal, you are most likely going to be the top choice. Now, the vast majority of homeowners want to make as much money as possible, just like you want to get the best deal. And the seller you are dealing with most likely has similar goals. Now, in a crazy seller's market such as ours, many buyers find out the hard way that there are buyers who will really go that extra mile for homes they love. Now, the second thing, show some cold hard cash. What do I mean? Your earnest money should be at least 1% of the sales price when dealing with multiple offers. You want to have more skin in the game. Show the seller you are truly serious about purchasing their home. Now, the third tip, you can use an escalation clause in your offer. An escalation clause can be a fantastic tool when securing a home when used correctly. Unfortunately, lots of buyer's agents don't know exactly how to use them. Additionally, lots of seller's agents are not familiar with how they work either. Guess what happens when you don't understand something? If you're thinking the real estate agent counsels their clients against it, you would be correct. Frankly, it's a shame. Let me explain what an escalation clause is. An escalation clause will say a buyer will agree to outbid other offers by a certain amount of money up to a specified cap price. What you are doing is telling the seller that you want their property badly and are willing to outbid other buyers to make that happen. Quite often, where an escalation clause is used improperly is with the escalator, or the amount of money the buyer will trump the highest bidder. Many real estate agents will make the escalator $1,000, which is just plain dumb. The escalator should be something more substantial like $5,000. When you are evaluating the best offer, $1,000 doesn't mean much. There are so many other factors that could trump getting an extra grand. With the escalator being $5,000, you're at least giving the seller something to weigh heavily on. The other problem is having a low cap price. For example, let's say you're bidding on a home that's listed at $500,000. If it's expected that there could be multiple offers and the house is going to sell way over asking, there is no point in putting an escalation clause that will cap you at $515,000. And let me be very transparent here. An escalation clause isn't for everyone and should only be used on a case-by-case for each buyer and their personal situation. All right, now number 4, write a personal letter. This has become very popular in our market. It may seem surprising, but a personal letter to the seller can put you ahead of other buyers in a big way. Not always, but predictably enough that you should certainly try it if you really want the home. A personal letter allows you to pull on the heartstrings of the seller. You can highlight the things that you have in common, like hobbies or a family life. There are thousands of approaches you can take. The one you choose should be dictated by the information and the feel you get from the seller, as well as by your own circumstances. One thing to note about this strategy is it's only going to be useful if you are buying from a regular person. Investors are much less likely to be moved by your personal messages. They are focused on the bottom line. Always the bottom line. You can still try a letter, just don't expect it to do much. Now, number 5, find out the seller's desired closing date and give it to them. For most sellers, the time for closing on a home will be significant in their decision process due to the fact that the seller is buying and selling at the same time. The close date will probably be even more critical. The vast majority of the time, the seller will want to coordinate the buy and sell to happen on the same day or at least the same general time frame. Now, the coordination of buying and selling can be very stressful. So giving the owner the closing date they want can often be the difference in getting the house or not. So, number 6, keep your contract deadlines tight. If you have other contingency timeframes in your contract, keep them tight. For example, here in Utah, we have a due diligence deadline. This is where you have all your inspections done, and then we have our financing and appraisal deadline. If you try to keep those within 7 to 14 days, I would, definitely suggest keeping them tight, but never removing your financing and appraisal deadline. Now, talk with your lender first. They may have a better idea of what your time frame looks like. Now, last but certainly not least, let's talk to your realtor. It can be challenging to decide on what a bidding war strategy is right for you. Have a careful discussion with your realtor to determine what path is the clearest one to the winning the home that you want. There could be some ideas you are not aware of that may not have touch base on here. Formulate a plan with your real estate agent on what it will take to land the house. Have your agent speak with the listing agent to find out what, if anything, can be done to make your offer more attractive. Now, if for some reason you come in second place, have your agent stay in touch with the seller's broker for a chance at being in a backup position should their primary offer fail to perform. There is always that chance that the sale will fail. So keep yourself ready to pounce if that happens. There you go. That's a quick rundown today of how to win a bidding war when you're purchasing a home this year. I hope you found some of this value in the steps. Should you like more information or discover these steps a little more in detail, feel free to reach out to me, Tamara Simons, your Utah Realtor, at 435-406-1142. Until next week, have a great day.